right? So the encounter with the lift boy, I'm like, what, I could make this into a story, and it can be a metaphor for life. And the film can be called Lift Boy. Like life is like a lift. Sometimes it takes you up, and sometimes it takes you down,
Down.
depending on the buttons you press, aka choices you make. So push the right buttons.
Hello, hi guys. Welcome to
Hi everyone.
our episode of our podcast, Screen to Script podcast. This is our second episode. We hope that you guys are keeping safe during these difficult times. Today in our podcast, we have a promising filmmaker and also the founder of Caroline Pictures. He is the director and producer of the well-renowned movie The Liftboy, which is available on Netflix. And yeah, Manthan, would you like to go ahead and...
Yeah, Sajib, as they say nowadays that it's very difficult to find sweet, simple movies.
Yeah.
Fortunately, Mr. Jonathan Augustin has been able to give us such a film which is full of endearment, innocence, and of course, simplicity. So yes, we are elated to have Mr. Jonathan Augustin with us. So welcome, Jonathan.
Hi guys, good evening. Manthan,
Hi,
Sajid,
good
thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much for having me. And thanks for the lovely introduction. Thanks for the lovely introduction. It's lovely.
Thank you,
I like that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So how are you? Are you in Bombay right now?
I'm in Bombay. Yes, I'm in Mumbai right now. It's the pandemic is slowly going away. Not going away exactly, but the sentiment of people is getting a bit more positive. People are more confident right now. Things are gradually opening up, right from the money markets to the film industry to the headspace of people. People were in such a toxic space, such a negative space that, no one had any interest in doing anything. So now people are and Diwali also is coming in, festival of light, festival of happiness. So people are in a good mood. So it's nice.
Absolutely.
How about you guys? Where are you guys? Which part of India are you guys in?
Both of us actually live in Delhi, but then currently I am in Assam. I am from Assam, Guwahati.
Okay.
Basically, we both are from Assam, but we put up in Delhi.
Okay.
So right now, Sajib is there at his hometown, Guwahati. That's in Assam.
Yeah.
And yes, as you said, Jonathan, that troubling times, difficult times, but yes. As the times are moving on, people are also accepting the positivity.
True.
They are getting onto the positivity as your movie has conveyed to us also. Congratulations and thank you so much for giving us such an innocent and simple and sweet movie, The Lift Boy. And,
my pleasure. Thank you for watching. Yeah.
No. I mean, the pleasure is all ours. It was so heartwarming, to be very precise. The movie was not out of the world, but it was so endearing. It was so sweet. The tale itself, the message itself. It was, I mean, we were, I mean, in some moments, I would not lie, at some moments I was brought to tears also. But that's okay. That's a part
nice.
of
That's nice. Paisa Vasool. All the effort that went into making the film, it's worth it. It's worth it. I'm good to hear that, because see, when we make a film, right, and we watch it, me, my editor Parikshit, my associate Shashank, we watch it and we're like, "Arey yaar, isme emotion ka," because we are so close to the film, right? And for me, the film wasn't emotional at all. Like when I wrote the script and when I finished writing the script, the first draft, like a polished draft, I felt nice, and my eyes were moist, but I think it was more of a sigh of relief that, oh my God, at least the script is done. Plus, I was happy that the story got closure. But after that, when we all got to making the film, and then when the editor, myself, my sound designer Anurup, then Pranit, Shashank, my associate, when all of us watched the film, the music composer Ryan Clark, you get film fatigue, especially when when you worked on the film for so long. You get story fatigue. So the story does not evoke any emotions for you. It becomes very mundane and monotonous for you. Right? It's a job. You have to complete the film, deliver the master, get the film out. So when an audience appreciates it, and when you said that it touched you and there were points you had, you got a bit emotional. I'm like, it's worth it. All the effort's worth it.
So it really had a slice of life feel to it, right? I mean, the way it was shot and the music kind of also helped. because the music was so kind of fitting into it, and then especially with the newcomers. When Naila ma'am was obviously that we have known her for her costume designing part and everything, but then seeing her as an actress, in the movie was like brilliant, and then both Moin as well in the
Moin Khan,
face, right? And we could relate to him a lot. So how did the cast come along? Like, did you?
The cast, yes. So Moin, so the first scripting, once the scripting is locked, then we start the cast. Once the production starts, one of the first phases of production is pre-production, which includes casting. So we were hosting auditions. We were looking for actors, helter-skelter online. Moin had come for a very small part in the film, right? He came for a part. There was a sequence of. So, as per script, there was a house party sequence, and there was a sequence where Princess had a boyfriend who was this cocky, obnoxious town guy. Small part, but it was a nice, good part. And he had a lot of quirky dialogues. Right. So Moin had come to audition for that character, and the casting director was Ankita Bajaj, and so she, her team and her, they called Moin in for that part. He came in to audition for that part. Eventually, that part got cut off. That part's not there in the film at all. The entire scene got cut off. So Moin came in for that part, and I met him there. I was in the office. I was not supposed to be in the office. I met him. I spoke to him. I liked his vibe. So I told the casting assistant, I said, "Usko yaar, ye hero ke liye bulao." He's like, "Sir, बहुत सावला है, बहुत चिकना है, वो hero नहीं बन पाएगा." I said, "Why not, dude? Call him." So he came for the audition. He auditions for it. I liked his vibe. I liked his energy. His acting was not good, right? So if you look at his audition, if I share his audition, the acting is very bad. But his vibe was good. His energy was good. And I thank God and I thank the universe for, ensuring that I was in the office on that particular day because I met Moin Khan. And then I spoke to him, and and his energy is amazing. He told me, "John, I'll do whatever it takes for this film. You tell me what you want. If you think I'm too chikna, I'll stand in the sun for 1 week. I'll become black. I'll become dark. Don't worry. You tell me what you need, I'll give it to you." And that's what every director looks for. Every director wants an actor who will submit to the character, who will submit to the director, and submit to the vision. Most importantly, the vision of the film. And Moin Khan is that actor. And he's done a fabulous job. Naila Masood was found in a shopping mall. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah, in a shopping mall.
That's interesting.
So the mall is.
So your casting seems to be very interesting. I mean, please continue.
So casting. See, I enjoy casting. Right, for me, casting is one of the best processes of the film of the entire journey of filmmaking. Because once the script is written, the characters are ready. So once you write your script and your script is locked, in the way your film is made, all you have to do is go shoot it, right? Yeah. So on paper, the script is there, characters are there. Now to bring those characters to life, you need good actors. And they don't have to be stars. If you get stars, well and good. If you get a Ranbir Kapoor, well and good. If you get a Shah Rukh Khan, well and good. Enjoy it.
100%.
To bring the film to life, to bring the story to life, you just need good actors who will bring those characters to life. Right. So the idea is to find people from all walks of life. So the brief to Ankita, the casting director, was that get me a nice, clean, fresh face, new face for Maureen D'Souza, because I didn't want any preconceived notion. When the audience watches that person, I didn't want any preconceived notion, because normally, conventionally, for a role like this, there are 2-3 names in Bollywood that get approached. One is Ratna Pathak, right? She's a go-to actress. So any big director would take Ratna Pathak because she'll do that very well. But the idea was to get someone new, right? Because and the vibe on set has to be easy. There should be no seniority on set, right? Even though Naila was 60, the average crew age was about 23, 24, 25, 22. That was the average age, right? So mid-20s. It never felt like Naila was 60. While we were working with her, she was like a 18-year-old, 20-year-old girl, and her energy was amazing. So my casting director Ankita went to a shopping mall. This is Phoenix. So this is Infinity Mall, Andheri West, which is very close to her office. And I told Ankita, listen, we were not able to cast the character Maureen D'Souza. We were finding it very difficult. So I told Ankita, you go wherever you want. Go to malls, go to churches, go to all the the posh pockets of Bombay and find these Anglo-Indian aunties wherever you can. The idea was to find a proper Anglo-Indian auntie who could speak English a certain way and who would seamlessly bring the character to life, right? And the brief to Ankita was, even if the person can't act, no problem. Agar wo vibe acha hai, look acha hai, we'll work with that, right? And there's one more brief: short hair. because see, to get in India, our advertising and our culture keeps propagating long hair is beauty. So you won't find many women with short hair. And if you request a lady to cut her hair, she may not be comfortable, right? Because it's a big ask. If someone's hair is like knee length or till their waist, and you ask them to cut the hair, it's a big ask. So the request to Ankita was, find an actor who can tick the boxes of being an Anglo-Indian, right? Who speaks English a certain way, eloquent way, like Helen Mirren or Judi Dench, right? That was the reference, and who has short hair. It's a very difficult brief. So Ankita goes to the first mall next to our office, Infinity Mall, Andheri West. And Naila had gone to watch a movie. I think it was an Asghar Farhadi film. It was The Salesman, I think. This was 2017, right? Okay. And as Naila walked out of the theater, Ankita spotted her. This was just near the escalator. And Ankita approached her and said, can you come in for an audition? And then she came in for an audition, and that's how she got cast. Funnily, again, when Ankita called in for the audition, that day I was not supposed to come to office. One meeting of mine got preponed. So meeting jaldi khatam ho gaya, so I got to office early. And as I was entering the office, Naila was walking out. I looked at her, she looked at me. There was some correction. I'm like, I think that's my Maureen, right? And I said, hey, my name is Jonathan Augustin. I'm making this film called The Liftboy. She's like, I just auditioned for it. I'm like, lovely. Would you like to have a chat? We spoke. Then I went and I watched Naila's audition. The acting was very bad, but I liked her vibe. The acting was very bad, right? Because see, the thing is, auditioning is a craft. See, the auditioning is a craft. Auditioning is a craft, right? And as the more seasoned you get, the better you get at giving auditions. Right. So Naila's acting was bad, but human was good, and the vibe was good, and the look was good, and the feel was good. That innate, intuitive feel, right? So then we spoke, we connected. I said, I offered her the part. And she told me, Jonathan, I've never acted in a motion picture before. And I said, Naila, I've never directed a motion picture before. I've never directed a feature film before. So, let's figure it out together. It's not rocket science. Let's figure it out together. And that's how we did it. I've done some short films and I've done ad films before that, but I've never done a feature film before. So I just told Naila, listen, this is my first film as well. I'm a debut director on this. And, this is your first time in front of camera. Let's just enjoy it, right? And figure it out. So that's how she got cast. Then Sean Lobo, the Liftboy's best friend, the guy who plays Sean Lobo. Damien Alexander D'Souza. I'm glad you remembered the name because everyone calls him Sean. No one calls him by name.
No, his character was really, it was so uplifting, delightful.
Yeah.
Nice.
Maybe you all need a friend like that in our lives.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. So the character of Sean Lobo, I had written for myself. Right, so when I was writing the script, I'm a fat guy. I'm not standing up, so you can't see my one-pack ab. But I'm a big brown fat guy, and I wrote
the for me.
So I wrote the character of Sean Lobo for myself. So if you notice one thing, Sean Lobo has the best dialogues in the film.
Absolutely.
Because मैंने अपने लिए लिखा तो हमने क्या इसको सबसे अच्छा dialogue देता right? And but for some reason I was like, let me find an actor who can bring this character to life. And if for whatever reason, if I don't find an actor, then I'll play the part, right? Because see, I'm first a director, so I have to do my job as a director, not think of my acting aspirations and my wannabe actor fantasies. I should keep that at bay. So we found Damien on Facebook. So, and we had a common friend, because that time Facebook had a very funny algorithm where if a friend of yours commented on someone else's photograph, it would pop up on your timeline. So I saw Damien's face, and he was, and I liked it. So I got his number. I asked Ankita to call him in. He came in for an audition. He messed up the audition. His acting was very bad, but amazing character. When you look at him, I'm like, that is Sean Lobo. I just spoke to him candidly. I'm like, he is Sean Lobo. We can work with him. And then you see the Laurel and Hardy contrast between Raju and Sean.
Yeah,
that Laurel and Hardy contrast is there. Yeah. So that's how the casting happened. So, but in the Liftboy, every crew member, right? So the casting director does the casting, the auditioning, the calling, the lineup, everything. But every crew member helped in casting. Right? We were looking on Facebook, friends, यार कोई आंटी को पहचानते हैं रोड पे किसी को देखा तो उतरो गाड़ी से बोला उसको अंकल एक्ट करो पिक्चर पे. Look, that was the casting. It was good fun.
Great. So I believe that you started out with advertising, right? You were in advertising agencies. You worked with them a lot.
Ad agencies, and ad films,
How did the move happen? You also founded now Caroline Pictures for your, you have a production house. You're a founder of a production house. And how did the shift, like, when did you decide to shift from?
So I always wanted to make movies. Even when I joined at the age of 16, when I came into the industry, I was working in ad filmmaking. Right? But again, it was filmmaking, even though it was ads. I always wanted to make feature films. I was very clear that I'm going to make motion pictures. And I was working for Shashi Kapoor's eldest son, Kunal Kapoor.
Kunal Kapoor, right.
Kunal Kapoor. Right now he runs Prithvi Theatre. But before that he had a company called Ad Film Walas. He was making amazing ads. So I was working for him, and that's where I started off. Then I moved into advertising agencies. Then I went off to the UK. I was there 7 years in the UK. I came back to India in 2015. And I came back with the intention of making Ramayana in English. Hollywood style. Yeah. I came back for that, but that never materialized. It didn't take off.
And it might. Don't lose hope.
God willing. Then I was working with Javed Jaffrey. Javed Jaffrey had a production company. We were doing content for television for a channel called Epic TV. We did a show called Once More with Javed Jaffrey. Then I quit that. Then I started writing. I was working on that. Once More with Javed Jaffrey. I was an associate director there. And then I had this encounter with the Liftboy, right? And that was the seed for the idea of the Liftboy. And then I wrote the script. After writing the script, we shopped it around for funding. We took it to studios. 1 or 2 companies were interested. Finally, we got a studio on board. The film was stuck for almost a year. Nothing happened. And that's when I said, you know what? I have to make this film on my own. I have to. So that's what led to setting up Caroline Pictures. So the intent and the desire to make motion pictures was always there from the very start. Like from the time I was 10 years old, the film that inspired me to get into movies was a film called Rocky by Sylvester Stallone, directed by John G. Avildsen, written by Sylvester Stallone, starring Sylvester Stallone. So that was the movie that inspired me to make movies. So the intention was always to make motion pictures. The setting up of Caroline Pictures was out of necessity, because in 2017 the Liftboy wasn't getting made, and I was taking it around for almost a year and a half, right? And there was no perfect partner to back the film. And if you notice one thing, Liftboy is 70% English, 30% Hindi, with bits of Marathi. So for such kind of a movie, no one's going to put their money, right? We did the music in Hollywood. Ryan Clark, the Mozart of Nevada. How we have the Mozart of Madras in India. I call him the Mozart of Nevada, and he did the music for the film, right? And the only reason Liftboy got made was because I had my own production company, and then we financed it. So that's why it happened. Otherwise, it would never get made. And India needs these kind of movies. But the thing is, the ecosystem is such that putting money into a film like this is not commercially viable for anyone, right? Because the recoveries are very long. Sometimes you may not end up recovering your money, right? For a corporate, for any company or individual, it's not viable. It doesn't make sense, right? Because across the world, the law of commerce is, if I put in certain amount of money, if the bank is giving me 10%, मुझे वो same 10% इसमें मिलना चाहिए, right? Or else they're like, it's not viable. Why should I give you the money, right? Because no one's obliged to you. So even the ecosystem thinks like that. When a studio puts in money, or when a independent producer puts in money, their thinking is like that. So for me to make this film happen, I had to put in my own money. And likewise, even the other filmmakers who make independent films are mostly putting in their own money. So that's how Caroline Pictures was founded. Like Vivek Gombar, who produced Court and who now has produced The Disciple. It's his own money. He's put his own money into Chaitanya's film, right? And likewise, the producer Shwetab Singh of Ibi Aleu. Again, he's put his own money in, he's borrowed money, set up his own company. So that's the only way we can make movies. So that's the reason Caroline Pictures was founded, out of necessity to produce the Liftboy.
Necessity is the mother of all inventions, right?
I've rambled a lot, right? I think I could have summarized this in one sentence. I don't know why.
We are loving to hear you all.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I mean, we want to be casual, it's not like a formal interview sort of thing. We just want to talk, chill. Yeah.
Absolutely.
One thing I like your sharing. Sorry, go on. Please.
No, please.
I was saying I like talking as candidly as I can, because so that people understand the subtext behind the one sentence. Because if I can summarize every answer in one sentence.
Even we feel we feel that it should be that way. I mean, it becomes so formal when you ask questions and the other one replies you back. And you ask them question number 2 is this, question number 4 is this, question number 6 is this. I mean, it becomes very formal. So we love candid talks. One thing I noticed when you were talking about the casting, Jonathan, was every member of your cast, when you were saying when they came for auditions, none of them, interestingly, were good actors. But
they were fuck all.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, they're very bad.
But you mentioned the vibe, the connection.
Yeah.
I mean, it matters so much, right? When you are making especially for a director, when you get that connection, when you were mentioning that word or that term vibe, it was so it was so important, I think, it's very important, imperative for a director. When you see someone and when you feel that way, that yes, this is my guy, this is my lead actor, or this is my lead actress, it's very important. You were focusing on that vibe more than the acting thing. I think in your real life also, you connect with people whom you think you share good vibes. You connect easily with people, right? And it goes for us also. It's a very it's the same thing for us also. Another thing is that you shared a snapshot of your I won't say struggles, but your journey in your Instagram account. We saw that you worked in some pizza store also.
Yeah, I used to be a pizza boy. I used to be a pizza chef. I was the head chef in the shop, which included making pizzas, cleaning the toilets, taking orders on the phone, everything, name it, So from stocking up, the van comes, you empty the van, and so I was a pizza boy.
Right. So this was in India or outside India?
This was in the UK. It was in the UK. I was doing a business there, and the business went bankrupt. For whatever reason, the business went down south. And to survive and keep the business afloat, I had to work as a pizza boy, because we had office and we had staff and rent and all that. So
but I guess
I had to work as a pizza boy.
Yeah, that made you a lot of that build your character, right?
Yeah. See, I'll tell you what. The intention wasn't to build character; it was again survival, right? And the byproduct was that it makes you humble. It makes you acknowledge. It gives you dignity of labor.
Absolutely.
It gives you it just makes you more agile and more. It makes you tough, right? So again, I just want to quickly clarify that not all actors were bad in the audition. So the other actors, Neha Bam, who plays because they wonder what is wrong with this guy.
Sound very.
Yeah. So Neha Bam, who played the Liftboy's mother, Lakshmi was, the Liftboy's mother. He was perfect.
Yeah.
The Liftboy's mother, Neha Bam, Sagar Kale, who played the Liftboy's father, he was also good actor, seasoned actor. Anisha, who plays Princess, she was perfect. I mean, Anisha, I didn't even audition her. We just had a chat, and I just saw Raju and Anisha's vibe. So let me tell you something about casting Princess. That was the most difficult character to cast, right? Because I had given Princess 3 C's: casual, candid, curious. And Princess had to have that certain, swag and that twang while talking, that South Bombay twang. And not many girls are having it.
She's something that she's kind of snobbish, but then at the same time that she has that soft feeling for someone and
innocence. Innocence also.
Easy. Yeah. So Princess, I'll tell you how we cast. We were struggling to cast Princess, right? And I finally come to office one day. Moin and I were rehearsing. We were sitting and talking. And I said, Moin, you know what, yaar, ye Princess ho nahi raha hai. मैं क्या बोल रहा हूँ, I'm going to make Princess Prince. We'll make him a boy. And it will be guy on guy. So Mohin pura stressed out, Mohin, arey John, So because he was like script mein, ladki lekha abhi ladka kar raha hai. He's like, ye film ka pura. I said, Mohin, dekh tu tension mat le bhai. Isko ladka karenge na to Cannes mein pakka opening milega, standing ovation milega. Right? And I told him, Mohin, dekho, this is in. And we'll get validation from the LGBTQ communities as well. It will be new wave cinema, like French new wave. This will be Indian new wave cinema. Mohin full stressed out. Mohin, I said this. Mohin said, John, I'll just come back. He went out. Call pe call, sabko bula rahe. And Mohin's friend was
that a prank?
I was irritated that day, yaar. I was very irritated that day. So I took off. I'm like, what the fuck? We can't find one fucking ek ladki nahi mil raha hai. How difficult it is. I'm taking off on everyone, I'm just in a very foul mood that day. So I said, Mohin, you know what? Fuck this. We'll make it a boy. Ladka dhundunga. And we'll do it. Kar lenge isko aisa. We'll do it like this. And Mohin, full stress, full tension. He goes out. Obviously, I wasn't going to do that. But I was just irritated that day and I was having an outburst.
Right.
Mohin
just
goes,
it out.
I just rambled something. Irritation when I said something, So Moin took it literally. He's going out, he's calling everyone, and he said, "John, I've got one girl. You see, I've called her, and we were doing a test shoot. So he called Anisha to the test shoot. I saw, and I didn't even audition Anisha. I just saw Moin and Anisha talk, and their vibe was so perfect. I'm like, they found
Vibe,
a princess.
vibe.
So yeah, vibe again, vibe. It's about it's not about Anisha and my vibe. It's about Anisha and Moin's vibe, right? They were vibing very well. That was perfect. Again, it goes on vibe, right? It's off-camera vibe.
It becomes easy for a filmmaker, right?
Yeah, it becomes very easy. See, once your casting is sorted, 90% of your job is done. Then you have to just go and direct your actors, which is fun, which every director does.
Absolutely.
But if your casting is apt, right, it becomes work becomes easy. Then Mrs. Kapoor, again, she came for audition. She was very good. So Mrs. Kapoor is not an actor. She was
model,
the VP. No, she was the VP sales.
Okay.
So in the film, Mrs. Kapoor was a model who wanted to be an actor. But in real life, Shilpa Iyer, who plays Mrs. Kapoor, she was the vice president sales at SCT India, Sony India. She was senior vice president sales. Yeah. She was holding a very top corporate post. And Liftboy was her first movie. And now she's left the corporate world and she's only acting.
That's great.
So yeah, and then
So you have given her a break.
No, we didn't give her a break or anything. We were casting for that, and she came for that. She was apt for that. She was apt for that. Yeah. It just so happened. Liftboy was her first movie. It just happened. She gave herself a break. She came for the audition.
It didn't seem like her first movie at all.
Absolutely.
Yeah. She's very good. She's very confident. She's very articulate. She speaks very well.
In fact, this goes for everyone.
Lovely. So all the actors were good. Even the guy Palash who plays Cyrus Mistry, Mr. Cyrus's son. Then Cyrus. So Palash was one of my AD's far off cousin. Daphne was one of the ADs in the film.
Okay.
So she found Palash. Costi, the guy who plays Cyrus Mistry, the bald gentleman. He was my line producer's friend. Again non-actor, but he wanted to be an actor. So we called him and we cast him. He was perfect. Then the guy who played
even the Watchman.
The Watchman, I was just coming to him. He was the next. Nilmani. Nilmani and my associate Shashank went to the same film school. So Nilmani is a trained actor. He's got a film school. Yeah. So Shashank found him, and Shashank called him in for an audition. So the casting process was very collective, right? And it was like we all worked together like a sports team. We had one goal. We pushed that banana.
Casting was
really nice.
It was good fun. Everyone enjoyed it. Everyone enjoyed the casting. Yeah.
And also the special mention to the maid who goes to princess's house.
Lata.
Yeah, Lata.
Yeah. So Lata is played by Jigna Kajuria. Jigna is an actress.
Yeah.
She's mainly a theatre. She's a theatre actress. She does theatre.
Okay.
So Jigna was called in by Ankita, my casting director Ankita. So Jigna does mainly theatre for kids. Ankita called her in, and she was perfect. When she came in for the audition, she nailed it. There was no question. The minute I saw her tape, I'm like, she's perfect. So see, some actors were perfect, and some actors when the audition they were bad, but the vibe was good. So it's all on intuition. See, casting is a very subjective thing. Each director will have a different way of approaching it, and it's mainly on vibe and intuition, two things, and then everything else falls in place.
The good thing is that all the actors they were so realistic.
Yeah.
I mean, you were talking about in 2015 that you saw a liftman, and then the idea came to your mind about writing a boy, right? So there's this message that a movie is portraying, okay? So this message can be depicted through many ideas, right? So there's this message and you want to kind of write a movie. It could be a lift boy, it could be a watchman, it could be anyone. So like that day you saw a liftman and then it fell into place, right? That this idea can be conveyed through a liftman. So otherwise, how is your writing process like? Do you think and write and do you let spontaneity
work? Is it spontaneous or yeah?
I'll tell you what, I'm a very crappy writer. My colleagues think I write well, but I think I'm a very crappy writer because I'm not very disciplined, right? So the Liftboy, if you ask me how Liftboy is a summary of, I was 24, 25 when I was making the film, right? When I started writing 24 and I started writing the film. It's a summary of 24 years of my life, right? I've summarized 24 years of my life experiences in the Liftboy. So the writing was very organic and fluid, right? So the encounter with the Liftboy, I'm like, what, I can make this into a story, and it can be a metaphor for life. And the film can be called Liftboy. Like life is like a lift. Sometimes it takes you up and sometimes it takes you down. Depending on the buttons you press, aka choices you make. So push the right buttons. So the idea was the film had a message. You know, there was subtext in the film. The film talks about dignity of labor. It talks about upliftment of the underprivileged. It talks about social mobility.
Even the human bonds.
Even human bonds, relationships, So it has a lot of that. So, the writing process was very organic. There was an idea, there was an encounter with the Liftboy. There was no epiphany at that point. But then when I was sleeping over, I'm like, you know what, the Liftboy, it's a good title. It can be a metaphor for life, and I can make my first film like this. So it was slightly manufactured. It was slightly manufactured. And it was slightly organic, right? It was a combination of two, because writing does need a bit of discipline, and you got to get things together. So, but in terms of writing the story and in terms of writing the script, it was very organic and fluid, because I was basically summarizing 24 years of my life experiences. So every character in the film is based on a character I've come across in some way, shape, or form. Yeah. It's real inspired by real life. Yeah. Even the story of the Liftboy, even the journey of the Liftboy is based on a true story, except the guy wasn't a Liftboy, he was a watchman.
Okay.
So the story in terms of the journey, of denial, acceptance, evolution, mastery, the entire, and even the incidences in the character's life in the film was based on real life experience and real life stories that I've come across.
Right. Talking about independent cinema, I mean, it's so tough for filmmakers. I mean, independent filmmakers. You have already mentioned a few statements regarding independent filmmaking. I think I might be wrong. I think thankfully nowadays the audience is also changing, right? And fortunately for us as viewers, and fortunately I think for you all also, for the independent filmmakers, I think it has opened a small door, thinking that the audience acceptance is changing, because they do not accept everything nowadays. They are focused on content, and they are focused on realistic movies, not like we have that parallelly. We still have that. But I think fortunately we are seeing that change. What do you think, Jonathan? In India, especially in India.
In India, okay. I think the audience in India was always open, right? The
because
ecosystem
we
in
used
terms
to have the art movies.
Yeah. You had Shyam Benegal, Satyajit Ray, we had all of them doing this.
Yeah. Please. No, I was saying that content is good. It doesn't matter that movie is kind of indie or it's a big production movie, right? Sometimes nowadays what happens is, in the name of indie movies, you cannot just go and watch like boring pictures. And people, I have seen people kind of they say that, oh, that's a nice movie just because it's an independent movie.
Only because
See, I'll tell you what, fundamentally a movie's job is to entertain people. Right? Yeah. People should enjoy themselves, right? Whether it is masala, whether it is commercial, whether it's indie, art house, doesn't matter what. Movie should make you feel happy, it should make you happy, it should make you maybe reflect, think, whatever, but it should entertain and engage you, it should stimulate you in some way. So if it's happening, well and good, And in terms of, the audience was always mature. It's just that so initially the platforms were not there. So you could only reach a limited audience. Now with platforms, you can reach multiple people. Like apart from Netflix and Amazon and all the other platforms, Sony Live, there's a series called Scam on Sony Live. It's amazing. That actor Pratik Gandhi is amazing. He's a league of his own.
Absolutely.
If you want to get an audience, you can also put your film for free on YouTube, and if it's nice, people will watch it, right? Absolutely. So the audience was always mature. The audience was always there. I don't think the audience has really evolved or changed. The audience has always been interested and intrigued by entertaining and engaging stories. Right. It's just that now the awareness is more. The buzzwords are more. Access. It's just So
the exposure, I guess.
Exposure is great, right? Social media is also given. Like, we connected because of social media. And you guys run a channel, and you guys are building an audience, and you guys are talking about new. So again, this helps in audience building, right? So the engagement levels are far superior, right? The the
exposure levels,
distribution and exposure is more. Let's see, because content is king, but but distribution is the kingmaker. So content has always been king. distribution is a kingmaker. Aggressive distribution and shelving and windowing and showcasing can really take the film to the next level.
Absolutely.
So there's a reason why people get Anil Thadani on board to distribute film, like a film like Bahubali, right? Anil Thadani and Karan Johar were brought in to present the film in the Hindi speaking belt, right? For South Kerala they had a different presenter. For Tamil Nadu they had a different presenter. For Telugu, for the Hyderabad region, the producers themselves presented the film, right? You had actors like Nagarjuna Akini promoting the film and talking about it, right? So content has always been king, but distribution has always been the kingmaker. So even with Liftboy, we did theatrical India, UAE, Taiwan, right? We sold satellite, we sold digital, but the film found its audience. Like we connected because you guys watched the film on Netflix.
Rather, and we have been growing up watching movies from Ritwik Ghatak, as you mentioned, then maybe the great Satyajit Ray or Bimal Roy,
Satyajit Ray, Amol Palekar, Bimal Roy,
absolutely,
Dadasaheb Phalke, many filmmakers. I mean, if you go on Mani Ratnam, he's been making films that cross over. Shyam Benegal, Shyam Benegal is still working. He's still got his office in Worli. He's still working. So there are these filmmakers who have been making movies that travel both internationally and in the country as well.
Absolutely.
Because if India is such a diverse country, right? A lot of times the Tamil movies will not travel beyond Tamil Nadu. Today they're traveling beyond.
It's changing.
It's changing. It's traveling. Across on Netflix as we speak. There's this film called Miss India, right? About this, it's like
just released.
Just released. It's like the Indian Joy, it's like the Jennifer Lawrence film Joy.
Right.
It's like the Indian Joy in a way.
Right.
It's about the lady who who sells tea and becomes this multi-millionaire. Right, so and it's number 2 on Netflix, right, and it's being watched by people across, with subtitles. So the beauty is that subtitles really opened up a lot of things, not just in India but across the world. Like a film like Parasite had a theatrical release in India.
I was just about to mention Parasite. Yeah, I mean globally, yes. I mean language has broken barriers, and it's all about awareness and exposure, I guess. Coming to the point of your movie, The Liftboy, being released, also being released globally, like say for example Taiwan and Poland. I guess in UK too.
UK we were planned to have a theatrical release in UK, Singapore, France, and North America. But because of the pandemic, the theatrical had to get cancelled, and we had to postpone the theatrical, and then the postponing it kept getting postponed. And then we just released it on Netflix. We put the
in
film
Singapore,
on Netflix.
Your film was released on a film festival, right? Singapore Film
So
Festival.
Singapore, it went to a festival, but we were also supposed to have a conventional theatrical release. A proper theatrical release, but that didn't happen because of the pandemic. Singapore, we went to a festival. So we went to Singapore South Asian Film Festival. We went to Zanzibar International Film Festival in Africa, in Tanzania. We were the only Indian film. And we got selected. I think there were some 8,000 films that were submitted, and Liftboy was one of the movies that got selected. Then we went to the Dallas South Asian Film Festival. We went Jagran Film Festival, River to River Florence Indian Film Festival, the London Indian Film Festival. So London Indian Film Festival, we had 4 screenings. So it was like. It was good. The screenings were almost full, and they were very happy with it. You see, festivals are good, but I love a theatrical release, a proper old school theatrical release. Right. So India, we distributed the film ourselves. We had a limited edition theatrical release, only for 3 days, right? It was nice. It was fun. Then in UAE, that's Dubai, Sharjah, Abu Dhabi. We had a 2-week theatrical release. We were in theaters for 2 weeks. We opened with Kalank on 18th April 2019. Right, and we went theaters for 2 weeks. In Taiwan, we opened on 2nd August 2019, and we went theaters for 3 weeks.
Almost 3 weeks,
which is remarkable. 3 weeks running, really? in a Taiwan in Taiwan cinemas across Taiwan. It's amazing, for an Indian film.
Absolutely.
To be showcased in theaters in Taiwan and successfully run for 3 weeks. It's remarkable. We were also supposed to. Sorry, go on. Yeah.
No, please.
We were also supposed to release in China, but what happened was, I'll tell you, this year was supposed to be a very exciting year for us in terms of theatrical and digital. So the plan was to launch the film digitally in December 2020. right? Because of the pandemic, our theatrical release in Singapore, UK, US, and France got canned, right? Then we were supposed to release theatrically in China as well, and the pandemic kicked in, and then the India-China tension. So even that market is gone. So it's a loss of revenue. That is one. It's also a loss of audience and showcasing. See, because a theatrical release, gives the film more brand equity. Coming back to the point, content is king, distribution is the kingmaker. It gives the film more brand equity. Then we released in Poland. We released theatrically in Poland. That was quite nice. We were because theaters opened up in Poland. We released in theaters in Poland in June, July. 2 months we were there. For about 3 weeks, 4 weeks. Theaters opened in Poland, and they did not have content to show. So the Liftboy got localized. We did Polish subtitles for the film, and we launched it there. So in spite of the film being on Netflix, the Polish audience, the non-English speaking audience went and watched the film. It's a nice, simple, feel-good film.
Absolutely.
Nice, easy, breezy film. So it works well, So that's been the journey. Then the film got picked up for in-flight syndication. It got picked up by a TVOD platform, that is pay-per-view platform called Chili. Chili is basically a 20th century Fox and Paramount company. And Liftboy was the first Indian film to get picked up by them. It's based in Italy. Chili is a platform based in Italy.
Great. Amazing.
And Liftboy was the first Indian film to get picked up by them. And we localized the film so we had German subtitles, Polish subtitles, Italian subtitles, and I think one more language. I can't remember. I think French subtitles. 4 languages.
These are enough.
Yeah. See, because
the moments of pride, genuinely. Absolutely. See, it makes you happy because as a filmmaker, you want your film to be seen by. There are over 7 billion people in this world, right? Ideally, the optimist in me thinks, if all 7 billion people watch the Liftboy, what a day! But it's not practical. In India, we have 1.3 billion people, and if all 1.3 billion people watch it, what a day! But so it's not physically possible. But the idea is to aspire and dream. And the only way you can, get the film watched by as many people as possible is by showcasing it in as many platforms and windows possible. The theatrical, non-theatrical, satellite, digital, ancillary, in-flight, cruise lines, taxis. So even in the Ola, this thing, you can showcase the film. I don't know if those are still working right now, but there was a company that would syndicate films onto that, and they had called us, but I don't know, for some reason the money was too less and we didn't pursue it, or something like that. There was some legal issue there because Ola was playing films with they had a certain mandate. But again, that's more showcasing, right? Because you never know. Even if one person watches your film, that's one more audience, right? Imagine someone driving to, going from one corner of Delhi from old Delhi to New Delhi. It's a good 1 hour, 2 hour journey depending on traffic, right? Them sitting in Ola and watching a film, and if it's your film, it's Liftboy, that will feel very nice, So it's just finding your audience in different ways and at different points, And globally also, when you have released your film globally and getting good reviews for your film, that's also a point of joy.
Good reviews and bad reviews. हमने पापड़ भी खाया है. There has been some bad reviews. But
that is also imperative. That is also imperative.
Yeah.
But for a filmmaker, that is also imperative. But when you, as a human, when you listen to good reviews or good things about your creation,
very nice.
Absolutely.
Like the introduction you guys gave me, and the way you described the film, it was amazing. And see, the very fact that we're sitting here. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. The very fact that we're sitting here and talking, Manthan and Sajib, this is nice. This is nice, and you guys are featuring this interview on your platform, and and sharing it with your audiences. It just feels nice. It just feels really happy. Quick question: why is the brand name Screen to Script? Because you guys decode the journey from Screen and you all work backwards. That's the reason, right?
Yeah.
Is that the reason?
That was Sajib's idea.
It was like script to screen, and we are like, once you go to the screen, watch the movie, and then you come back to the script and read it.
Okay.
Just to analyze the movies and.
I got it. Yeah.
I had read somewhere, I might be wrong, you're the best person, of course. Is there an official remake
yes.
on the cards? That's so wonderful.
Yes, so the Liftboy is officially being remade in Canada. The shooting is over. The film's called Life is Beautiful. Life is Beautiful. The shooting's wrapped.
Great.
The film will release somewhere next year, early next year. So it's the official Kannada remake of the Liftboy. It's being directed by Sabu and Arun Kumar, produced by Friday Films, but it's Lohit H. Director Lohit H is Friday Films. Lohit H is a successful filmmaker in the Kannada industry, and he turned producer. He launched his company called Friday Films. He's directed 2 films. Both have been commercially very good. Friday Films, and it's based in Bangalore. And they make Kannada movies. So Lohit was launching his production company, and the Liftboy is the first film. The Liftboy remake is the first film being launched through Lohit's production company. Okay. So Lohit reached out to me. The film went on Netflix. Lohit saw the film on Netflix. He reached out to me. He said, Jonathan, I really like the film. And I said, is the remake needed? Because the film's there. But what I realized is, a remake will help the story travel more because, see, the story is universal and evergreen. I mean, the story of the Liftboy story can never really age. I'm talking in terms of story, not in terms of the film. After a point, it will kind of age, right? But films are evergreen. With age, they even get better. But
see, these kind of movies, that's the power of these kind of films. Yeah. You can watch it anytime.
Yeah, true. But the ecosystem has this thing of labeling, films as dated or aged, right? That's how it is. So the beauty of the story of the film, the script of the film is you can remake it in multiple languages and it will still make sense because it's a feel-good film, right? Absolutely. You can remake it in Spanish. We were talking for a Spanish remake, but the pandemic kind of derailed things, right? So right now, officially, let's see, God willing, it will happen, So officially the film has been licensed to Lohit H's Friday Films, and they've remade the film in Kannada. The shooting is over. It's got Prithvi Amber in it, starring the hero. He was the hero in a film called Dia. He was hero in a film called Dia, which was a hit Kannada film. It's on Amazon Prime, and now Prithvi is also starring in this film. So the shooting is done, and it should release in theaters somewhere early next year. So that's exciting. It's called Life is Beautiful, the official Kannada remake of the Liftboy. Yeah,
that's really nice. Fantastic. Yeah.
So that's the journey being in a nutshell. And guys, I have a film coming up next year. We are co-producers on the film. So whenever the film is ready and it's going out, if you want, I can introduce you to the director of the film. We are co-producers on the film. Caroline Pictures is a co-producer on the film. It's a Malayalam film. It's a Malayalam film, and it's a different film. So you guys will
we are very much into Malayalam films.
Yeah, lovely. Again, it's a sweet film. It's a very sweet film. It's called Madapalli United.
It was great talking to you, learning about your experiences and also your
pleasure.
Also your idea behind movies. Yeah.
It was absolute fun and delight. Yeah. I mean, it was delightful. It was absolute fun to talk to you.
Thank you, Sajib.
And for our viewers also who haven't watched the movie, please watch it because these are troubling and difficult times. If you watch these kind of movies, it will give you a lift.
You really feel good.
It's a nice, sweet film, yeah.
Yeah, it's on Netflix. Please watch it. It's called The Liftboy. Yeah.
Thanks, go.
So, thank you so much, people, for viewing this podcast. And we promise you, me and Sajib, that we'll keep on entertaining you, and we have a good lineup of guests coming your way. And Sajib,
if you like this video, please follow our Instagram page and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and share this video with your friends and your family, and that'll help us grow. Show some love. Thank you so much. And
share, like, and subscribe to Screen to Script on Instagram and YouTube. And please take care of yourself.
Stay safe and good night.
Stay safe. Good night. Bye-bye.